Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales has confirmed one of my favorite features of any video game this current generation. So let's talk about 4K 60 frames per second and performance. So this is actually going to be the first Insomniac game since Ratchet & Clank A Crack in Time that's going to run at 60 frames per second. Now obviously frame rates aren't everything, but the people like me that love a stable frame rate who plays on PC so much and goes up to like 120 plus frames a second, 30 frames a second in modern day games is absolutely mind-blowingly bad. Like, you can just tell the difference and that something doesn't seem right. And I'm a fan of always having a performance mode where they can boost the performance even if it's at the sacrifice of resolution. I will rather play 1080p at 60 frames a second than 4K at 30. I don't care that my TVs can do 4K and all that. I just want smooth frame rates because I feel like it's just better for me and I don't get like this motion sickness effect, especially if there's a frame rate drop, because it's a lot more noticeable if your frame rate goes from 30 to 27 to 30 to 24 to 30 in a matter of 2 to 3 seconds than it is if you go from 60 to 58 to 60 to 55. It's just how it is. Like, your eyes can perceive the difference. But it was also confirmed that we're not going to have to sacrifice resolution though by Insomniac themselves. They said, and I quote, "Swing through the city like never before on PlayStation 5 with a optional 4K 60 FPS performance mode." So here's the deal. You'll be able to do 4K 30 FPS in all its glory. It's gonna look freaking amazing. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna look like a next-gen game should. Then if you want, you will be able to toggle a performance mode in the options. It's still going to remain 4K, but 60 frames a second, meaning some things are going to get sacrificed, like maybe some of the draw distance, how far in detail the textures are, things like that obviously, but they'll be able to attain 60 frames a second solid. Now before somebody misunderstands, I don't have a problem with all 30 FPS games. I'm currently playing Ghost of Tsushima. I have it set on the 4K 30, even though you can disable the lock and you can go up slightly higher in frame rate with the performance mode. 30 FPS on that game works because it just seems built for it. Also, The Last of Us 2 looked fine in 30 FPS again, so it's not everything, so it depends on the game, but there's just something about having a smoother frame rate, especially in games that move a lot faster, like again, Spider-Man would swinging through the city. And my guess is that they revealed this now because in the next month or so, we're probably going to have another PlayStation showcase that's going to show us more of the gameplay, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just release one of those direct feed videos where you can download it, it's in 4K, 60 frames a second, and watch it, and it will completely blow your mind. So another good feature. Looks like they're definitely going to be giving us what we want from this game. Now also, let's just hope they do this. Let's hope they update Marvel's Spider-Man with that backwards compatibility to 60 FPS, because if that happens, oh sweet lord. And I just started a replay, so I might as well start another one after this one if that's a feature.